Alright, hello, my name is DJ Smith, and I'm here today to talk to you about my experience as a peer dialogue facilitator. I could go on and on and on about this experience because it's just been so meaningful and so fulfilling for me. I really don't think this video will cut it because I don't want to go like 30 minutes, an hour into this video. I know you want to save some time, but it's just been a really, really great experience. Probably the top experience that I've had here at Clemson University. Top 5 experiences that I've had in my own life. You just grow so much as a person, and there's so many valuable skills and transferable skills that you learn from being a peer dialogue facilitator. So yeah, I guess to start off with, you do a lot of learning in the first semester because it's a 3-credit hour semester creative inquiry, and so you start off, you do a lot of learning about different social justice topics. So that means you learn about your own social identities that you may hold, you learn about social identities that others hold, and you learn about those through a bunch of readings and through just dialoguing with your cohort. I think that would be the biggest piece of where the learning takes place, and you just really examine the dynamics of the world and in regards to social identity, so you get to see power and privilege at play. You get to see how that affects outside worlds, not outside worlds, but like worlds outside of our little Clemson bubble, as well as within our Clemson bubble, and just really get a broader understanding of how in some ways you might be privileged or oppressed due to certain social identities. Another tool that we learned about was the psychosocialization, which was a really great tool to help you just realize that none of this is your fault. None of this is any individual's fault. There are institutions set up and different things set up throughout society that cause certain people to kind of have unearned advantages in life, or disadvantages in life, just because of a certain identity that they hold. So that could be their race, their ethnicity, their sexual orientation, their gender identity, their religion or spiritual affiliation, etc. And you really just break that down and really go into a further understanding of you are born into the system, and through your parents and through school and education and other institutions, you are taught these things, and your parents were taught these things through the same kind of cycle. And so yeah, it is a cycle, a continuing cycle that hopefully you break free from. So it kind of eases the pressure, or eases the burden off of you, but it also places the burden onto you to break free from that cycle. And I'm realizing I'm kind of rambling here, but yes, so that's a lot of the learning that takes place as being a PDF. You also just gain a lot of personal skills that I think are very important. For me, for example, I really learned how to sit in a space and how to be vulnerable with people. That's something that I've always struggled with, is to open up and express myself. And this class will really push you through the autobiographical incident or assignment, as well as just through the dialoguing that goes on throughout the semesters. It really pushes you to share a piece of yourself that's hidden and deep down within. It also pushes you to or encourages you to have those difficult conversations that you might not always want to have. And through that, I think you gain a sense of confidence that you wouldn't be able to get from anywhere else. You're able to learn how to facilitate a whole group dialogue, and that's a very powerful tool, I believe, of communication, and that's a very powerful skill to have. Let's see, as well as, yeah, I'll stick with that. The other piece of the PDF class experience that I really, really loved is that you find a lot of Clemson University's hidden jewels. We all, I think, tend to gravitate towards this peer dialogue facilitator class or role, and every single person within my cohort is a great individual for their own individual reasons, and we're all so different, but we're still a family and still like you don't understand, like when you see another PDF around campus, it's an automatic conversation. It's not like running into someone on a regular basis that you kind of know but you're not really friends with, and you just like, hey, how are you? It's really like, hey, how are you doing? You really care about that person. You want to stop and have a conversation. I've been a little late to class sometimes because I stop and have too long of a conversation with them. But no, you really do gain a genuine friend, a genuine family member here at Clemson through the PDF program. And just people who you know will always have your back and will always be there to support you and to guide you and to help you with anything that you might be going through. Whether it's in the class setting or just outside in your own personal life. They're just all great people. I can't speak enough about how great they've been for me and how great they are. It does not sound so repetitive. Let's see. And it really just helped me feel like I finally belong here at Clemson, because it was a tough transition for me, and so this PDF family, this PDF cohort was like my welcoming place, and it's been such a phenomenal experience. I've enjoyed it profusely. Now I'm into the parts where I'm actually facilitating my own dialogues, and I'm not gonna lie, those are probably some of the hardest, most difficult, scariest, frustrating things that you might be responsible for leading in your experience. Dialogues are not easy. They're very, very rough and very, very emotionally heavy. They can be very draining. I realize after the dialogues are over, I just want to sit in my room and relax, but that's because I'm an introvert, so it might be different for you. But at the same time, they are also one of the most rewarding things throughout my day this semester. For example, last week I had a terrible dialogue, and my co-facilitator and I just wanted to both leave the space and cry, but we didn't because we had each other to lean on and just go to for support, as well as Becky Morgan, who's in charge of the PDF program. But yeah, it was the worst dialogue ever. But after sitting through it and really processing it, I realized that some good did come from it, even though it wasn't as great as I was hoping. But just the other day, this week, I had the most amazing dialogue experience ever. So yeah, you just go through those ups and downs, and in that last dialogue experience, I had someone say to another student, like two participants were talking to each other, and she was like, I do not agree with you personally for my own personal life with this situation, but I can understand where you're coming from, and I respect you for that. And for me, that was the most powerful statement I could hear, because it just shows like how important I think these dialogue programs are, and how influential they are, and how just eye-opening they are for this girl to realize that something challenged her viewpoint and that she necessarily didn't agree with it, but she could understand it more, and she could empathize with it a lot more, and empathize with that individual on a social identity that they shared and that I also shared. This is really, really effective, and really made me sit back and realize that, wow, I am in the right place that I want to be, that I need to be, and I am doing great, influential work here at Clemson University. So if you want an experience like that, you should sign up for the PDF program. Yes. If you love to practice empathy, you should also become a Peer Dialogue Facilitator, because it does require a good amount of empathy to sit in our seat and to facilitate those dialogues and to listen to a bunch of different life stories and a bunch of different perspectives that you haven't lived yourself, but to still try to reach an understanding of them. Also, if you just have a story to tell, which I believe you do, I believe everyone has a story to tell. We all go through struggles, we all go through ups and downs. We're here, so there's some story behind you as to how you got here. This is the perfect space for you to come and to sit down and to open up and to not to vent. I'm not going to say to vent, where that is necessary sometimes, but it's more constructive than that. It's really processing your own life and others' lives, and really taking a look at what those experiences have meant to you and how they've shaped the way you're acting or you interact with other people. And then also, just you should become a PDF if you want to positively impact Clemson University. I don't believe there's any other program, any other organization that has as large of an impact or as powerful of an impact on individuals than our new Student Dialogue program does through the PDF program or Peer Dialogue Facilitators. It's really powerful, it's really influential. It helps students to reach better understanding across differences. So it helps students develop that sense of understanding, that empathetic sense of understanding. I'm not going to say tolerance because I don't like the word tolerance, but it helps students learn to accept people and to welcome others even though they might not agree with them. And it's a really powerful tool, and really glad that Clemson's taking the opportunity to use it and utilizing it well. So yes, that is a brief summary of what my PDF program experience has been like. I've kept you here for almost 12 minutes now, and I'm going to let you go. I can't stress enough how much this program has done for me. So please, 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 if it's of any interest to you, if you know me or if you see me around campus, feel free to stop me so I can talk to you some more about it. It's so great. I've enjoyed my PDF program experience profusely. I love it. I love the people in it. Top notch. So yes, thank you.